I gotta tell you, souL, known for his macro play. MarineLorD, known for doing it all. Alright, I'm excited about this. In the top right-hand side, we have the man, the myth, the legend. It is MarineLorD. And in the bottom left, his counterpart, trying to bring us an exciting TVT here, it is souL. Now, see gas first coming out of both players. TVT, a lot about the tanks. A lot about sieging up first, finding that air control. You know, Viking versus Viking, Raven openers, the whole works, the whole 9 yards. And we'll see who can get it done first. I mean, Doom drops, everything. Everything you want in a matchup happens here in TVT. Now, Everdream, I will say, is a map that there can be some good tank positions. You know, you can find some maybe tank positions down here, maybe some tank positions over here. But a lot of it is catching your opponent off guard, finding the damage, finding the right move. We have a double gas opener coming out of souL. I believe that is actually pretty standard in these TVT days. I mean, what we're seeing from MarineLorD looks more like an expansion. If I had to guess myself, only one gas geyser. I know what you're thinking, M. Canning. Please. When did you become such a good observer? Well, guys, I'm going to tell you, this is my first time observing. Oh, 2 of 3 gas. Okay. Oh, no, okay, that's just standard as well. And, yeah, we do see the in-base command center from MarineLorD. Okay, okay. So maybe if there was an SCV scout, the SCV scout would have seen it in time as well. It is a standard time command center from MarineLorD, and it looks like we have a bit of aggression coming in from souL. As I said earlier, well, we see 2 of 3 on gas, 1 of 3. I don't think he's going to go that crazy. But then again, I'm just a Protoss casting a Terran versus Terran. What do I know? We're all... Yeah, that's what makes this special. We're all on the edge here, trying to figure out what's going to happen. You're piecing it together. I'm piecing it together. It's going to be good. Now, both players playing... No, not both players. Yeah, both players playing pretty safe with the Reapers. And we do have the expansion coming a little bit later from souL. Just a safe expansion here from souL, going Reaper, Hellion. This would be good if it was, you know, maybe a heavy Reaper opener from MarineLorD, maybe a 3-racks Reaper type. Both players playing a little bit safe, you know. I mean, we see the command center on the high ground. We see the factory back here, a little bit hidden. Both players just making sure a bunch of Reapers don't jump up into their base. I will be interested to see if we see a little bit of aggression now that he's got 2 Reapers and a Hellion. But usually I think if it was going to be aggression, we'd see maybe 3 Reapers and 3 Hellions, something like that. This looks a little more safe, and now we do finally have the scout coming across the map. Neither player has scouted yet. Right? No vision on either end. So we have the first scout of the game coming across the map. So both players, you know, you're playing a little bit tentative, a little bit safe, because you're not sure what's going on. Now MarineLorD comes up, he sees. He knows nothing too crazy. Nice little grenade there. Pushes the army back. Well done. Now MarineLorD knows, yeah, I can just expand now. I mean, I'm not in too much trouble. Fast second gas coming down. I will be interested to see if either of these players decide to go mech, or if they decide to both play standard. We got the Tech Lab coming in. I'm expecting Ravens from both players. Ravens seem to be quite strong in this matchup. We see a Cyclone coming out of both players. They're just doing the same thing. We are in a very similar game state. I like what's happening here. The gas a little bit faster for souL in this natural. That will help him a little bit. You can see his gas count much higher, which actually helps you get those Ravens. They are very gas intensive. 200 gas for 1 Raven. I know what you're thinking. That's too much. Well, talk to Blizzard, guys. Talk to Blizzard. We have basically identical production tabs right here from both players. A very even match so far. I like what I'm seeing. MarineLorD, of course, was one of the best Terrans in the all of Europe for a long time, and then he retired for a while, and now he is back, looking to reestablish himself as the former GOAT he was. souL, of course, a player that has been always very high in the ladder. He's always someone that is like, I would say he's mostly known for being incredibly strong in the late game. I'm not sure exactly how strong his TVT is, but I am quite sure his TVZ and TVP late game is quite good. Very strong, macro-oriented player, which you can respect. You know, you can respect. There's so many cheesers in today's game, guys. We see a 3rd command center coming down from MarineLorD. We do not see it yet coming down for souL. I wonder if there will be a push. There are 2 Ravens. Are they both getting 2 Ravens? They are. Now, it will be interesting to see in this TVT if one player decides to go for the Raven harass, perhaps, and if the other player decides to go to keep the Raven in the army and just build up energy. It's kind of like that time of the game where, I mean, it's safer to have it in your army to defend against shenanigans. 3rd Raven coming out as well from MarineLorD. He says, no, I don't want just 2 Ravens. I want more. I'm fed up with just 2 Ravens. I want 3 Ravens. And I love it, to be honest. I've been kind of a Raven yes man for a while, where I feel like, you know what? I think Ravens are good. I do. See Stim coming out from our buddy souL now. I do not. Okay, we do see 2 more racks, so it is not going to be mech from either player. This is just basically standard. We see the double eBay coming down from MarineLorD, who does have. Okay, no, their 3rd bases are about the same. I'm just a bit blind. Excuse me on that. And we do look like we might have our first push coming out. We'll see exactly what he thinks about doing with this. I mean, the armies are very similar. I mean, both 3 tanks, 1 extra Raven from MarineLorD. The Marine count quite a bit higher from MarineLorD as well, actually. And 2 Vikings. Okay, so that's the difference, right? There's 2 Ravens out for MarineLorD, and then there's 2 Vikings already out for souL. So the Vikings will do a really nice job at beating back these Ravens, and we just see 3 base versus 3 base gearing up. Kind of a nice spot for MarineLorD, though. He's already got his 3rd base down, already mining from it. souL's still morphing this in. This is going to help him in that mid game. MarineLorD, that is. Although we could really need these add-ons here coming in. We see a lot of tanks coming out from both players. Very similar compositions as well. The rack's a little bit faster, actually, from MarineLorD, which is nice, Now both players getting their Viking count up, because as we talked about earlier in the game, that air superiority in TVT, it's big. You get air superiority, then you have tank superiority. Both go hand in hand, and as we said, the worker count now 4 up from MarineLorD, 5 up, and he's just been mining for a handful more minutes. Now, it probably won't end the game, but I expect, you know, in a minute or 2 minutes from now, MarineLorD's going to take a 10 to 15 supply lead, just because he's had this 3rd base a little bit faster. A little bit quicker, right? The gas is now coming up, and we do see that supply edge starting to turn out. Could be carded because of the racks, but once these racks start pumping out as well, it's going to be nice for MarineLorD. Let's check that upgrades. Halfway done on 1-1. Only a 1/3 of the way done for souL. So I'm actually liking this spot for MarineLorD, but it looks like souL is going to make a push. And I will tell you, we have the sensor tower coming up. Will it be in time to scout this base? It will, or this army coming in. Skank coming in. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. Stim pack is completed for MarineLorD. Now we do have a push setting up here, and this is a position for souL that maybe he can abuse. The air coming in, the anti-armor missile coming in pretty big from MarineLorD. I don't think. Yes, a retreat coming in from souL. That makes a lot of sense. I will say, it's interesting the 3rd bases they chose. souL already up to 71 workers, by the way. I wouldn't mind see a 4th base, and we do see a 4th base from both players. From both players getting that 4th base. Oh, that's not a 4th base. That's the 4th base. Now, it is interesting that souL went for this base, MarineLorD went for this low ground base, and souL went for this base. This base feels like it can be abused a little bit more. The positioning here, maybe the positioning up here from the tanks. We do have a double medvac drop seen, and the Cyclone going to town. Hold up. No way. No, never, of course. Oh, wow. Very nice control from MarineLorD sniping that medvac. I didn't actually think he was going to get it in time. Now we have the army chilling out. We have 2 armies coming out from souL, but losing that medvac is a little bit of losing the steam. Now he's going to try to trade medvacs, but he will not be able to. Falling back. And we have very similar army counts. Look at these Marines. Look at these tanks. Look at these Ravens. Look at these Vikings. It's like I'm watching a player who's playing against himself right now. They're trying to practice against this exact army composition. It's really going to come down to that air superiority and that tank siege. Whoever can get those tanks sieged up in time, and who can win that air battle, because then the Vikings can rain down on everything. I think eventually we're going to see Liberators come in. I like this army here from souL, you know, kind of monitoring that 4th base, seeing what's happening, what's coming. The scan. I love this sensor tower as well. I mean, I'm a big sensor tower guy. I said I'm a big Raven guy. I'm a big sensor tower guy. Basically, I'm big on everything, guys. That's how I work. Oh, we got a cleanup here from MarineLorD. Caster sleeping on the job, missing it. Nice little cleanup. Will he get the medvac? Nice. Played. Very similar game, though. We see all the upgrades are the same from both players. Very similar time. These guys are just playing great games. right on each other's wavelength. I mean, the tank, really it's just going to come down to the engagement and the positioning. Big anti-armor missile coming in from souL lands on a lot of MarineLorD's units. The tank sieged up a little bit faster for MarineLorD, but the anti-armor missile, I mean, the positioning, there's only 2 tanks here left. MarineLorD looking to reposition and maybe potentially flank. Big anti-armor missile coming in on the air units. The Ravens getting a little bit low. Interesting movement here. Now, MarineLorD thinking about pushing in the middle of the map, but it might give souL an opportunity to dive in on this 4th base. Reinforcements going to make it hard. The 2 tanks are sieged up, and with the 3 Ravens here, it can be very hard to break this position. Now, it will be interesting to see. It looks like MarineLorD considering a break here, and he sees souL pushing back. The stim coming in from MarineLorD. He thinks he has a spot here. Tanks sieging up in the back from souL. These Marines are in trouble, and the trade goes actually surprisingly even. 3 interference matches really done. Gonna snipe the Raven as well. Nice engagement from MarineLorD. And I was not sure. I saw these tanks sieging up. I thought maybe it was not going to be great, but he stayed out of range of the tanks. Had a nice interference matrix on his. And now he's gonna dive in while tanks are on siege. Anti-armor missile. The Marines on top of the tanks. 2 tanks siege up from MarineLorD. It is a fight that is very close on both ends. But when these tanks siege up, MarineLorD is gonna take this fight. And he's won the. And we've talked about it earlier. He's won the air battle. He's got the tank count, a beautiful engagement, catching him unsieged, and you know, it all stems back to his early game decision to get that 3rd Raven. He sniped a Raven here to start this fight, but also he had that 3rd Raven for the extra interference matrix, for the extra anti-armor, for everything. So much utility from that 3rd Raven, and it let him get a nice fight, and he caught souL unsieged. Now he's got a massive supply lead, but not just he has a massive supply lead, it's 10 tanks to 1. Ladies and gentlemen, where's that 1 tank? He's coming out. He's like, where are my friends? I want to join the tank forces, but yet there's only 1 tank. Now, this is going to be very, very hard for souL to hold on. I mean, he does have 1 tank, a lot of Marines, but the tanks are king in TVT, ladies and gentlemen. And there's so many Vikings. How many Vikings? What are the numbers? 7 Vikings to no Vikings. I mean, this is looking like posturing by MarineLorD, and he should be able to somewhat close out this game. Now, we do see a big number of Marines going to be looking to find something, but there are so many tanks. There's no way this 4th base lives. And he killed the other base being made. Nice engagement here from MarineLorD. Nice decision. He knows that he's taking a big lead. I love the drop because he knows his army's not going to win a head-on engagement right now. He needs to make something happen with these 2 medvacs. But MarineLorD on top of it. The scan, I like it because, you don't want to just go into nothing. But now he's on top of the bases. The Liberators are here as well. souL thinks that maybe it's time. I don't know if he has enough. The tank's sieged up. The tank's getting big shots. There's so many Vikings. There's Liberators. MarineLorD just has more of everything right now. The Liberators sieging down on these tanks, and with nothing to contest these Vikings or Liberators, I don't know how he can ever handle these Liberators. souL saying, okay, 1 last push. I got to go for it. I have nothing. There's tank count. He's at my 4th base. I need to hold. And 2 big interference matrix coming down, but there's just too many tanks. There's too many Marines. There's a Liberator siege, the reinforcements, and we look like MarineLorD, still sitting at max supply, is going to take game 1. Wow. Well played from the man himself. Wow. That was an explosive TVT. I got to say, I enjoyed it. Oh, I went to my other screen. Oh, hi, guys. I wasn't actually ready for the webcam to be back on me. Now you guys get to see my stylish Hawaiian tee. It's summer. We're at DreamHack Summer. I think it's summer. Either way. Guys, okay, I know it is summer months. This is DreamHack Summer, I believe. Can't be DreamHack Spring. Either way, we got game 1 for MarineLorD. And let me tell you, it was a fun game. I actually, the thing is with TVT, as a Protoss main, sometimes I'm like, well, do I want to watch a TVT? But there are a lot of intricacies inside TVT. How many Ravens do you go for? Do you go for a Raven? Do you go for a push in the early game with like Heli and Reaper? In this game, we saw just basically identical builds coming out from both players, and it really just came down to the positioning and the decision-making and the engagement. And we saw MarineLorD make the right decisions, the right engagement, and it set him up to take that win, and he did take that win. Nice win for MarineLorD. And I will say, souL is always someone who, if I had to guess, now I really don't know much about either of these players' TVTs. I would almost guess, maybe souL at like 55-45 favorite in this matchup. But maybe MarineLorD is a favorite. Maybe these guys play a lot. Maybe they don't play a lot. I honestly don't know. I just know souL is always really high on the ladder. Of course, MarineLorD always very talented. But, they played basically the same exact game, and MarineLorD just won. So, But that's what happens sometimes. You know, you take a good engagement, you take the right fight, and you get the win. Now we have Eternal Empire coming in. And I'm looking for some mech play here. I am. I don't know who's going to bring it to me. Whoever's going to bring me mech, I'm going to be rooting for, just because I am a mech. I'm like the mech guy. I'm a Protoss player. I'm a Protoss main. But I'm the guy that is always like, you know what? We need more mech. And when I see mech, I say, yes. I say, this is what I wanted. This is what I needed. Now, Eternal Empire. I mean, this is what we ask for. When I think TVT, I want something long. You know, don't give me a quick Mass Reaper TVT. Let's play something long. Let's play something drawn out. And let's just see a game 3. Why not? Because that's what we need. You're about to lose me and my webcam, guys. You can say goodbye to me. As the game will start up, the webcam will disappear. Like magic. A little magic trick. It'll be interesting to see if they decide to change it up after that last game. Both players literally doing the identical builds up to 3 bases. But I'll tell you as well, MarineLorD got that 3rd base mining a little bit faster. Maybe set him up a little bit more. Hard to say. But either way, in the bottom left, the man who took game 1. It is MarineLorD. I do not know how to add the scores. I'm not going to lie. I am a noob observer. But just imagine a nice little fancy 1 right here. Like this. Like I'm drawing it with my mouse. A little 1 for MarineLorD because he took that first game. In the top left, the man looking to give us to game 3. The macro beast himself, it is souL. And we do have fast SCVs coming out. SCV Scout coming out from MarineLorD. Maybe he is also concerned of potential shenanigans. Oh, we have 2 SCVs coming out. So maybe some type of shenanigans. Maybe a proxy 3-Rax Reaper. Perhaps. Let's see what the response will be from souL. Now, we were thinking, you know, it is interesting how the macro, quote-unquote, macro maps. Yep, well, here we go. We got 3-Rax Reaper. We got shenanigans. That's what I'm talking about. Explosive TVT. That's what I'm talking about, you guys. Okay, now no SCVs. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, no, that's scary. That is scary for souL. Now, he's scout. Neither player scouted last game. Could it be mind games? Could MarineLorD just be gambling and saying, look, he didn't scout, but MarineLorD didn't scout last game either. Both players could be going through Rax Reaper for all I'm concerned. Now, this looks like the same exact build for souL, and I'm a little bit concerned we don't have the as safe factory. He's going to go for an even faster command center here. No scout as well. He thinks MarineLorD's not going to do. He's not going to cheese me after that last game, but guess what? MarineLorD says no. I don't want to play a macro game. I've played enough macro. 1 game is enough. And now, this game is going to end fast, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, one way or the other. He either will be able to hold or he will not be able to hold. Now, we have the command center coming down from souL. We will see maybe if he goes for a second Reaper, perhaps. I mean, we don't have any scouting in. If you look at souL's vision, he's playing blind. Very similar to his last game, which he was not punished for. Neither player was punished for. Actually, it's a little bit annoying for souL because last game, I believe he opened more safe versus a proxy 3-Rax Reaper. And in this game, now he seems to have played a little bit more greedy. And yet here we have, making the perfect decision, we have 3-Rax Reaper coming in from MarineLorD. Now, MarineLorD, if you're MarineLorD, you're jacked up. Let me tell you guys, he's fired up right now because he knows he hasn't been scouted. He knows there's been no SCV across the map. This is like the dream scenario. Now, we do have the Reapers coming across the map, 3 at a time. Okay, he is going to get a Hellion. He's going to get 2 Marines. How many Reapers? 4 Reapers out, guys. This can snowball. But he has to find massive damage, and the Hellion can be massive at finding it. Now, the Reaper, got to be careful not to run into it. Is he going to get caught? He does get caught. It's a nightmare for souL. MarineLorD already on top of the first Reaper. Now, the Hellion is out. 2 Marines, but let me tell you, if he gets that Hellion, there's not much left for souL. He's in a ton of trouble. The Reaper's diving in, getting the Marines, getting the Hellion. All the Reapers still alive for MarineLorD, and there's only 2 Marines in production. This is a nightmare for souL. MarineLorD looking like he's going to take a swift 2-0 here, diving on top of the production. There's just not enough production for souL, as MarineLorD making the beautiful decision to go 3-Rax Reaper 2.